Hello everybody, welcome to our Merlin Chrome break. I know it's number 2, but it's the first break we're doing because we have to reschedule one of them. But, so this is the first time I'm seeing this product. Good luck to everybody. Just going to make sure everything is cool on my end. Everything looks okay, and if that is the case, we will get started. Just give me 1 second here. I want to make sure everything's fine. Yeah, perfect. We're good to go. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to cut the case open. Hey, Jim. Good luck to everybody. Hopefully we get something cool. We get some nice stuff. Here is Oyarzabal, Zanioli, Skriniar. Here is from Lille. Here's an Angel Gomes. I think this is... Just give me a sec. I think this was a Man United, I think former Man United player. I forget, but I think so. Let's sleeve that up. Here's our first autograph. Here's a Hamza Chowdhury from Leicester. They are definitely not doing so well. I think Brendan Rodgers probably will get sacked very soon, even though I don't really think he's entirely to blame. They have not invested when basically every other team has invested a substantial amount. Here is a prophecy fulfilled Harry Kane. Koulibaly. PK, Camavinga, Davies. Here's a Nico Gonzalez rookie. Oh, is the camera? Am I out of focus? Yeah, if I'm out of focus, no problem. On my end, everything looks pretty crystal clear, but let me know. Here is a under 23 Curtis Jones. Brutal. Oh, let me pull this up on my phone. Give me a sec. On my end, everything looks good. Here, 1 second here. Yeah, it looks good here. Yeah, I'm looking on my phone too. Everything looks pretty solid. I don't know. Maybe that's something on your end, but yeah. Yeah, I was caught me off guard. I was checking. Yeah, everything looks good. Yeah, maybe it's just something with your computer, maybe possibly. But on my end, yeah, as well as I think everyone else, it looks pretty solid. Here is a Ryan Cherky from Lyon. Nice hit out of 199. Nice hit there for the Cherky spot. I feel like he was like such an up and coming like prospect, and I feel like he I don't know if he hasn't necessarily performed like lived up to the hype, but definitely his stock has gone down a little bit just because he hasn't really done much. Joao Felix. Here's a Mbappe insert. Susic, Mount, Kane. Here is from Celtic, we have a Carter Vickers. This is out of 25. Nice hit for the Carter Vickers spot. Into box number 2. Here is a Neymar, who is playing absolutely out of his mind at a 150. Neymar's a perfect example of a player that, like, when he's motivated, he's the best in the world. Like, it's a World Cup year, wants to be in form for a World Cup year, and he's playing the best I've ever seen him play since his time at Barcelona. Best he's played in 4 years, probably. Then, when he's not motivated, he's, like, not a top 50 player in the world. It's crazy. It's kind of like some Brazilians, I guess, are just like that, but... Okay, the picture just got made up for that. Made up. A brutal picture coming up with that card. I still can't see. You still can't see. What does it look like on your screen? Like, is it pixelated or out of focus? If it's pixelated, that's probably just your connection. That's strange. Is it Mukoku? That's really strange, to be honest. Here is a Brextia from Sociedad. This is out of 75. Nice hit there. Let me just move that up. There we go. This is break number 2. Break number 1, because I think there was a shipping issue. Like, UPS just decided to, like, not deliver packages or delay this package, and so we only got our cases in whatever it was, today or yesterday, and then the break the break number 1 was postponed. So this is break number 2. This is the second case. Not break number 1. Break number 1, I think, is maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. Whenever break number 1 customers were emailed, but this is break number 2.
Break number 1 is like an hour and a half from now.
Break number 1 is actually an hour and a half from now.
It's like 6:30.
6:30ish. Picture clear on Twitch. Raheem Sterling out of 99. So break number 1 is like essentially right after this. Here's our autograph. This is a Pedri autograph. This is nice. Here's a under 23 stars Pedri auto. Number 299. Nice hit there for the Pedri spot. That's a big one. Here's a Furuhashi from Celtic. This is number 299. Here is a Renaissance. It's like a stained glass kind of thing of Kai Havertz. Is this like a case insert? Is this what you're doing for, like is this meant to be like a stained glass kind of thing, or is this just a regular insert? Let me know. I'm gonna sleeve it anyways. I haven't opened this product yet this year. I'm not sure if there was a case it. Yeah, I figured as much. So they're just ripping off Panini with stained glasses. So our case it is the Kai Havertz. Nice hit there. Two case hits, Renaissance and Match Ball. Topps insert are just not like, I feel like they need to step their insert game up. Here's a under 23 Mukoku. Oh, something gold. Here is a Liam Delap. This is a Liam Delap out of 225. Nice hit for the Delap spot. The numbered Renaissance are nice though. I haven't seen them yet, but I don't know. I just feel like their inserts are just not. They need to definitely step their insert game up. Tops. Paninis are far better. I opened one Hobby Box personal, pulled a Kai auto. Was happy as a Chelsea fan. Congratulations, Matt. You I guess are you excited about Graham Potter? You prefer Potter ball over Tuchel ball, which is just a massive bust, but over Tommy T. Ageless Alchemy Cristiano. Tuchel ball just turned into a variation of sorry ball. Yeah, it was terrible. Well, not even it was. Tuchel ball was also a massive bust. Like he would play games and be so defensive. Like it was a bust at times. Tuchel ball. Tuchel. He's just the kind of manager, like, here's a McKennie at 50. This is nice, cracked ice. But he's just the kind of manager that, like, he can get a team really going for, like, a season, but everywhere he goes, he ends up... I'm not saying this time it was necessarily on him, but everywhere he goes, he has, like, an issue with ownership. Like, kind of, like, gives me Conte vibes. Here's a KDB auto. It gives you Conte vibes where, like, he just ends up beefing the ownership or the upper management and then ends up leaving. But Tuchel was in different circumstances, I would say. I don't think he should have been sacked, but just, like... The random football he was playing at the end was terrible. Also, Chelsea just lacked attackers. But Potter definitely plays a nice style of football. The question around Potter is just a question around every manager who takes a step up. Can they take a step up? Like, it's very different playing with Brighton as it is Chelsea. Like, if Potter gets Brighton 8th, he's a legend. If he gets Chelsea 8th, he gets sacked. Like, it's very, very different standards. We've seen so many managers that look like they play a great brand of football, look like they'll be able to do it, and they just can't at the top level. So it'll be interesting, but I think it's a good appointment. Just relied. I've never seen a team like Chelsea, like in the last 2 years especially, just relied so much on goals from defenders. I've never seen it. Like you rely on Reece James needs to get 4 or 5 goals. Aspie, you need 4 or 5 goals from him. Rudiger would score set pieces. You need 4 or 5 goals from him. Like it was just because you had no attackers. Like Chelsea would rely so heavily on goals from defenders. It was definitely an interesting dynamic, but. I just think I think Todd Bowley has absolutely no idea what he's doing, and it's very funny to watch. Here's a cracked ice Ediemi. This is out of 250. Yeah, and I hated that we snagged him right after we spent all that money on defenders, and now we're moving to 4th back instead of 5. Yeah, I totally agree. I don't really get it, and he wanted more. That was the funny thing. The problem is this: as much as as much as I thought at the end, I thought Tuchel's style was just waning, and I didn't think it was the best. Very defensive. Didn't feel the attack felt like it was stagnating, but definitely Todd Bowley is to blame 100%. That transfer policy over the summer just felt like I don't think he had any idea what was going on. He didn't at the end, because at the end Tuchel revealed he was being asked to play more of a director of football role and needing to do some of that stuff, which he technically shouldn't be, but you could tell they had no idea what they were buying. They were just unpopular name came into the news, the Athletic was reporting another team was interested, okay, Chelsea will buy him. It made no sense. Cucurella didn't really make any sense when you had Cucurella didn't really make any sense when you had Chilwell, even though I know Chilwell gets injured, but it didn't make sense to spend that kind of money on a backup unless this Potter thing was going on behind the scenes way longer before. You definitely needed center backs, but yeah, like you said, going back to a 4-back system, you're definitely leaving a lot of money on the bench, and you wanted more. You want if it was up to him, you'd have Gvardiol for next season. So yeah, the transfer policy itself didn't really make sense. I met Bowley the other day. He was at the bar in New York watching the game, just sitting. Yeah, that's funny. I don't think Bowley's a bad owner. I just think that he has absolutely no idea what he's doing. Here's a Ryan Cherky insert. This is out of 50. Nice hit for the Cherky spot. We also got another numbered card from him. So great hits for the Cherky spot. I just think Bowley has no idea what he's doing. I think he finally realized that he's not a director. He's not a DOF. So he tried to hire Leipzig, Salzburg. No, I get his injury history, but you don't spend Chilwell at that point was still the starter, and you don't spend $50 million on a starter. And I know he can play 2 positions, but you spend the money on somebody who's primarily a center back. I know Cucurella can play both, but still, I think it's just the market is crazy. So it's crazy inflated, but I would have just rather you either sign a left back and pay backup money for him and tell him that he's going to be just a rotational player or whatever, or you sign a starting center back. It just felt like it didn't really make sense unless the Potter thing was going on behind the scenes long before we knew it, and Potter specifically wanted his player, which that is another argument. But on its own, it didn't make sense to sign Cucurella, who you're gonna play as a center back. Then you needed Gvardiol, which didn't work out. Then you signed Koulibaly. Then you basically broke the transfer record for I forget his name right now, but for Fofana. I would have just signed the center back or signed a backup left back. Here's a Kai Havertz, more Chelsea. I have 225. Yeah, and I love Trevor. Also, yeah, keep in mind Trevor Chalobah. Not specifically his I was referring to him, but just in general. Chelsea, Coben has a great academy, produces so much talent. Chelsea rarely end up utilizing the talent. Like, if you needed center halves, I don't know why Colwell didn't get a chance. You just loaned him back to Brighton. Here's an Nkunku autograph, which is nice. This is out of 150. I don't know why Colwell didn't get any chance there, especially because you needed a center back. But Bowley has the money; he doesn't care. Hiring technical director after transfer deadline was always his move. He tried to get Michael Edwards. He tried to go for Michael Edwards, but Edwards wanted to take the sabbatical. I saw he now tried for the Salzburg director of football. He tried for the Leipzig director of football. He tried a bunch, but in my opinion, I think it was too late. You should have had a director of football in place before the window. Because the signings Chelsea made and the people they were interested in, spending, I know the bid got rejected. They got lucky, but spending $50 million on Anthony Gordon, that's ridiculous. Anthony Gordon's not worth $50 million. I don't know why Everton didn't accept it. Just the players they were after just didn't feel like they aligned with any clear system. I think the director of football should have been placed before the transfer window started. Because Bowley is no director of football, evidently. Yeah, I know. I know. The deal got done late. There was so much screwing around, but I wouldn't have until you get it. Just they needed center backs and stuff, but the window. I feel like so much of that money. I don't know how many of those transfers will actually end up aging well. I feel like Graham Potter comes in, and then in the next window, everything gets blown up. He signs new players, and it goes to waste. Here's a Zaniolo at a 99. Yeah, at least Cole was only a loan deal. I really hope we don't get rid of him. As being Thiago or old, hopefully we can find on Cole will be the future. It's just so rare that Chelsea actually give. Since Mount and Reece, so much of the youth that comes out of Coben. Oh, here's another Renaissance. Here's another case. So much of the Harry Kane. So much of the youth that comes out of Coben just gets sold. Which it's great transfer business. You sign other players, but the youth doesn't really get a chance at Chelsea. There's so many Ethan Ampadu has been loaned out 700 times. Chelsea does this with so many different players. I remember Charlie Musonda at the time. Granted, none of these players really made themselves into anything, but still, they didn't really get a chance. No, not yet. Number one is going to be, I think, in an hour and change from now. Yeah. Actually, exactly an hour from now. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. For all Lampard's fault as a manager, he definitely cared about the youth, partially because he was forced to with that transfer ban, but he definitely cared about the youth. If Lampard wasn't there and subsequently failed, but I don't know if Reece James or Mason Mount would have ever made it into the Chelsea first team. Look at Tomori, for example. Tomori is the worst one of all. Tomori was Chelsea never gave a chance to. Milan signed him. Tomori is the best center back in the league. Probably the best center back England has. And all the others is definitely better than the center backs that Chelsea are signing. I don't know why Tomori didn't get a chance. Here's an Alexander Isak out of 250. Tomori's I think is the worst one of all of the players that didn't get a chance. Because he's actually very good. Any nice Harvey Elliott out of this case yet? No, nothing Harvey Elliott yet. You think, Matt? You think Chelsea ended up making top 4? Here is a Abde Azulai. I think they knew that left back that Xavi's been trying out, or the guy who's been trying out at left back. But out of 50, that's it. Here's a what? There's managers in here? This is hilarious. Here, oh, wow. Here is a Brendan Rodgers auto. That's funny. Wow. Congratulations to the Brendan Rodgers spot. You will own the autograph of a soon-to-be sacked manager. That's tough. I think they're definitely going to need time for Yeah, 100%. I don't think Chelsea make top 4, but at the same time, I don't know if United make it either. I think the top 4 is probably City, Spurs, Liverpool, Arsenal. Is what it looks like. Yeah, but Liverpool's problems are different. Liverpool's problems aren't system problems. They're not personnel problems. They're just injury problems. Like, there's no reason to say that if Liverpool don't get more players back from injury, like, they'll be fine. Chelsea's problems are different. They're not injury based problems. They're personnel problems. They're now managerial problems. So they're different. I don't know. I think Liverpool will end up making it through. I think Arsenal won't choke it and will make top 4, and then I think. Yeah, Spurs will probably make it in, I think, and then City, yeah. I don't know in what order, but I think those are the 4. Problem will be for Arsenal is European football. Kills them every year. Like, they had a really good season last year with no Europe, playing 1 game a week. When they're now... I don't know how they're going to play. I don't know what level of football they're going to be able to maintain playing every 3 days. Like the other clubs are struggling with. Here's a Vinicius Jr. This is at a 275. That playing twice a week, playing every 3 days, changes a lot. Definitely changes a lot. Yeah, he went to Brighton that week. Yeah. Another guy didn't get a chance at Chelsea, but here's a Felipe Anderson autograph. Yeah, that's terrible. I thought Potter would be great for Billy Gilmore's development. Like, he got sent to Norwich. Like, obviously that loan was not going to work out when he was being thrown into a team that was most definitely getting relegated. There was no question about it. Norwich were going down. It's hard to shine in a team that it's hard to shine in those kind of teams. Also, I think the World Cup will change everything. I think this season will be radically different from any other season we've seen because of the World Cup. I think that a mid-season World Cup changes everything. Here's a name out of 199. Your players will be, I think they could get injured at the World Cup mid-season. Not only morale. Imagine England, for example, go out in the World Cup maybe shockingly, or just go out and just naturally the players are on the down. And normally you have the rest of the summer to just cool off, and then you start the rest of the season. You start into next season. Now, if you get blown out in the World Cup next week, that's it. You're back in the middle of a season. That could have a bad effect. Injuries, just players playing so many minutes. The January transfer window is going to be interesting because I feel like teams may actually the market will be crazy because teams I think will actually need reinforcements mid-season. Normally, a lot of the big business only happens in the summer, but I think teams may pay a premium to get players in mid-season now with the World Cup. Here's another Vinny. Wow, this is a great case for the Vinny spot. Out of 150. Yeah, that's also true. You need, like, the depth you need now is crazy. I just saw this afternoon that Leverkusen that Potter wants to recall Kamatsuno from his loan. I think that could be the worst move for him. He actually is that a Lukaku at 15. This is nice. Kamatsuno just needs some regular game time, and Leverkusen, especially in the Bundesliga, you're for sure gonna get that game time. I think going back, I think recalling his loan and then he doesn't get game time would be terrible. Here for the rest of the league that Haaland will be resting during the World Cup. That's if that is true, but that's also if Haaland isn't injured. This is the other thing. If you look at Haaland injury record in the Bundesliga, when he played for Dortmund, he played half the season. Granted, he scored 30 goals in half a season, but he played half the season. Here's a Joao Felix at 250. Pep's playing him every minute of every game. I wonder if he's overplaying him a little bit. This is number 2. Number 1 is in 50 minutes from now. Here's a Sonny Perkins. This is out of 75. They have assigned a physio to almost live with him now. He's even been hired by the national team and is with them. I'm Norway. Yeah, I don't doubt that. I just think Pep in all the post-match interviews goes, "Oh, he's young. I don't worry about game management." Yeah, he's young, but as we've seen with other players, we've seen it with some other players who got overplayed at a young age and now they're dead. I think you gotta be careful of that. Especially what I don't get from Pep is it's not like Pep needs Haaland to play versus Bournemouth. City were very capable of winning those games 5-0 without a 9, with just a center forward, with Sterling as center forward, who can't finish if his life depended on it. So I don't really get why Haaland plays every minute. Here's a Edin Dzeko from Inter Milan, numbered to 199. Here is a short tire. This is really nice. Wow. This is out of, not numbered. Am I missing something, or is this not numbered? They do non-numbered ones? Wow, that sucks. This is really nice, though. Nice hit for the short tire spot from United. Let me get a one-touch for this. Speaking of Sterling, that was another part of Tuchel's downfall. I feel like he signed so many players just playing out of positions. 100% agree. 100% agree. Oh, I mean, I would say the same thing about Pep, but at least Pep has some results to back it. Just maybe a little thick. Actually, no. We're good. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Cliff. Here's our short tire. Are there halalos in this product? To be honest, I'm not sure. I'd have to check the checklist. Off the top of my head, I cannot remember. Here's a Koulibaly. Nice Koulibaly auto. Give me 1 second here. Here is a Nico Gonzalez. This is out of 199. Nice hit for the Nico spot. Here is a Jonathan David. This is a Jonathan David out of 99. Nice hit for the Jonathan David. I gotta dip out now. No piece. No problem. No problem, Matt. See ya. here is a Tachuana from Rennes. This is number 225. Who is my favorite for the World Cup? Well, my favorite is France. I think it has to be. I think it has to be France because they have 4 teams worth of players that are starters. Like their depth is insane. I don't really rate the Champs, to be honest, but I just think that their players there's just so many good players and so much depth, especially in a year that you're going to need depth. That they have. Sorry, let me flip this. That they have to be the favorites, but I'd say France, England on paper have players, but Southgate is a massive fraud. Portugal on paper have good players. Manager, for some reason, they just don't play well as a team. I guess Argentina can always just go far, but they have a better team than I think they've had in a while. I don't know. I'd say France probably. Brazil actually would be my second favorite. France number 1, Brazil number 2. There's a Kenneth Taylor out of 75. Brazil all around have really good players, especially with the form Neymar's in right now. Yeah, Argentina is definitely a dark horse. Also, like Messi's also in good form, and not that Messi is really known for carrying because he's not, but like if he keeps it up, then they always could have a shot. Also, just like countries like Argentina, even if they don't always have the best players like in every position, they play they leave their everything on the pitch. Like they'll die for it. So when you have that kind of mentality, it gives the team boost them a couple pegs. But yeah, Martinez, they have a solid keeper. They have a couple good defenders. Yeah, I think they have one of their more well-rounded teams. He's a Haji out of 75. Agreed. A lot of hype building around Brazil now. Squad depth is insane. It is. I don't think it's France squad depth. I think it's impossible to be France squad depth. But I think Brazil's number 2. That front 3 would probably be Vinny on the left. I'd say Neymar. I think I'll play Neymar false 9 through the middle just because they don't really have a good, there's no clear 9. Brazil doesn't really have a good 9, and I don't think Bobby Firmino is in the form to really be the 9. Or it could be Jesus, honestly. I don't know. I think Vinny's a lock on the left. I think Neymar through the middle. Jesus on the right, maybe. Or Rafinha on the right, or Anthony on the right. I don't know. There's definitely a lot of depth in the attack. Midfield, I'd say Fabinho at the 6, Paqueta at the 8, and the other 8, off the top of my head, I can't think of it. I don't know. It's hard to say. I would take Jesus. Jesus is in great form, but at the same time, okay, so you play Jesus at the 9, right? Where do you play Neymar? You play Neymar on the left? Okay, you drop Vinny. Vinny's in great form as well. I think the only way it works is if you play Neymar in the middle as a 9, you play Vinny on the left, and you play Jesus on the right. Anthony and Rafinha off the bench. Wow, is this a 1 of 1? We have ourselves a super refractor. Boom! Congratulations to the Trent Alexander-Arnold spot. Don't mention Fred. Do not mention Fred. I see Fred in the chat. Please do not mention Fred. Delete comment. Fred is the fakest Brazilian ever. Nice, boom, huge super refractor. Insane hit. Let's get a 1-touch for this. Congratulations to the Trent spot. But I see Fred in the chat. Please don't. Casemiro Casemiro honestly is not in the greatest form. I didn't think he was in his last year at Madrid, and I don't think he is now. Unless Tite is gonna play a double pivot, unless he's gonna play a double 6, I don't know if Casemiro starts. I don't know. It depends on how Tite wants to play. Does he want to play a 10? Is he going to play a Paqueta as a 10 and then Fabinho as an 8? Or is he going to play a 4-3-3? Is he going to play I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know what the midfield would look like. I mean, he's not because honestly, because I don't think some people may think this is wild, but I don't think it's wild. I don't think Ten Hag chose Casemiro. I don't think Casemiro is a Ten Hag system type player. I think Ten Hag wants a Frankie de Jong, for example, as the 6, who like is more of a ball progressor, has that more of the passing range. Like Casemiro is just a killer. I don't think that it works. I don't think that he wants it.
At 6 o'clock is immaculate baseball.
I got 3 boxes left.
Are you going to do the other Merlin?
Probably. Well, yeah, he obviously wanted Young, but like that was becoming a meme. Like United, just to save face, had to stop with the Young stuff. It was embarrassing. It was very embarrassing how that went down. But not even just. I used Young as the example just because like just for the system fit. But I think a 6 that has that type of range, to passing range. Could play Neymar as a 10 and Rafinha on the right. I don't think Rafinha starts. I think because you have better players, Vinny and Jesus, both better than Rafinha. I don't think Rafinha starts. I think you play Jesus on the right, probably. Oh, actually, I see what you're saying. You're saying playing like a 4-2-3-1, for example. Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, I see that. Oh yeah, it's definitely a good problem, 100%. Having Casemiro as your bench player is not a bad thing. I'm just, as a start, I think Fabinho starts. I just think that he's been in better form in the last 18 months, let's say. Bastoni out of 199. It's a great problem to have. Yes, it's like France, but I think France still has more depth. But yeah, Brazil definitely has good depth. But France just has it in literally every position. Here's a Declan Rice autograph. France's second team could probably I'd say make the final. Not win it, but probably make the final. Which is crazy. Yeah, I'm thinking about what I just said. Their second team could definitely make the final. I'm just running through in my head who I would consider like the second team. But Weston McKennie out of 99. Oh yeah, your second team is probably like Mannion a keeper, Teo Hernandez left back because I assume Furlan is going to start. Saliba, Konate as your 2 center backs if we assume Varane and Koundé start. Right back, I don't know. I feel like that's just a tough position for France. Midfield, there's like 1,000 midfielders. Chouameni, I don't even know who's even would be their bench at this point. The forwards would probably be the weakest. I feel like France are weakest up front, like besides their starters. But even so, not really that weak. Yeah, well, I think that's the problem though. I think that was a mentality issue. Why France crashed it. First of all, I think Deschamps parked it in the game, which was ridiculous. But I think Deschamps' tactics sucked. But besides that, I think that was a mentality issue. I think they went into the Euros thinking they were going to win it. And, like, you can't go in just thinking you're going to win it because then you'll lose. Like, you have to take every game seriously, and it really didn't seem like the players did. Here's another Ugochukwu from Rennes out of 225. I think Deschamps is leaving after this World Cup anyway. So if Zidane gets the job, they're the favorites for the next 3 tournaments. Germany also. When somebody asked me about my World Cup favorites, and I name teams, Germany also have a very good team. And I really like Hansi Flick. I think he's a very good manager. Again, just another team that's kind of lacking a 9. Like, a lot of these international teams are lacking in the number 9 position, but I think they can make a run. Immaculate Baseball is next, yes. Here's a Merlin out of 150. Here's a cracked ice Victor Osimhen. This is number 2/250. Zaniolo. Here's a Cole Palmer. We have ourselves a Cole Palmer out of 99. Nice hit there for the Cole Palmer spot. Here's a Chowdhury auto out of 99. Nice hit for the Hamza Chowdhury spot. Baseball break is right after I finish this last box. That's when Immaculate Baseball will start right after that. Probably in, let's say, 5 minutes. No, maybe less. Oh, when's the basketball break? Which basketball break are you referring to?
Black was already happened.
If you're talking about black, that already happened. I thought you said I misread. I thought you wrote baseball.
There's first one's baseball, second one's basketball.
Like your break, bro. What I'm doing right now is a black. Yeah, that black happened 2 hours ago. Here's a Connor Bradley Nice hit for the Connor Bradley spot. Number 2, 150. Here's Declan Rice, number 2, 275. Here is a short tire, set of 150. And we got one more pack, and then I'll do a quick recap, and then the baseball break will start right after that. Let's do a quick recap. We got our 2 big hits. Here's a super refractor of Trent. Nice hit there. We got ourselves the RPA of short tire. We got these case hits. Harry Kane, Kai Havertz. This is not a case hit, but just a Pedri auto. We got short tire, Declan Rice, Connor Bradley auto, Weston McKennie, Tishuana, Vinny Jr. Here's a Brendan Rodgers autograph. I don't know why he's in the product. Here's an Abdi. Here's a Zanioli, Kai Havertz. We have Ryan Cherky, one of the many hits of Ryan Cherky we got. Adiemi, KDB auto, Weston McKennie, Leon Delap, Raheem Sterling, Barextia, Neymar, Vickers, Ryan Cherky again, Hamza Chowdhury, Gomez. Here is, we have Nkunku, Chowdhury again, Cole Palmer, Victor Osimhen, Merlin, Declan Rice, Bastoni, Ramos, Hagi, Taylor, Jonathan David, Nico, Koulibaly, Edin Dzeko, Sonny Perkins, Joao Felix, Lukaku, Vinny, Neymar, Felipe Anderson, and Isak. That's what I got. We'll be back in half an hour for number 2 of Merlin. In between is baseball. See you guys in a minute.
Well, number 1 of Merlin.
Yeah, I guess it's number 1, but yeah. The second one for me today. See you guys.